Hey Wizards, I am bringing you my version of Boros tokens with the new set that just launched, and it's a pretty good one. We really haven't changed much most of these cards we already had access to in the previous sets. We've just got one huge addition, and that is Elspeth Stormslayer. If you somehow haven't heard of this card before, this is probably one of the most busted cards we've seen in a while, which is kind of saying a lot. 3 and 2 white for a planswalker. If one or more tokens will be created under your control, twice that many are created instead. And then she creates a 1/1 white soldier creature token, which will always be 2. She can put +1/+1 counter on each creature, not each token, each creature you control. Those creatures gain flying until your next turn, or she just comes down and destroys a target creature with mana value 3 or greater that your opponent controls. Stupid crazy good, works really well into a token set where we already want to be really easily. If you've got very limited options for buying into the set, this is a card high on my list that I think you should look at. It's so strong. Everything else is just built around getting the tokens like usual. We've got 2 Authority of Councils to help slow down mono red to help us build up. We are kind of a mid-rangey deck. Mono red can go under us, so this really helps punish that. Smite, 3 damage to target attacking creature or blocking creature. Exile it, really good. Sanctifier gives us life whenever a creature enters. Carrot Cake is one of our only scries, but it also gives us that token, so it manages to work really well for us. Essence Channeler is one of our first alternative win cons. If we have Hinterland Sanctifier, Carrot Cake, Hop to It, Sheltered by Ghost, Release the Dogs, and we never see any other win con, which is Arabella, Warleaders, or Elspeth, Essence Channeler alone can win the day. If it dies, it just puts its +1/+1 counters on another creature, like Sanctifier, and keeps it alive forever, or one of your tokens, or in the best world, Arabella. Get Lost, great removal. We really rely on this to deal with the things that we can't control, like enchantments or planeswalkers. This kills your beanstalks, this kills your pretty much everything that isn't a creature, and that is really meaningful for all the control decks. Sheltered by Ghost is our other answer to all those. Really solid. You do need the creature. It can be removed and then you get cards back, but Sheltered by Ghost is such a good card, and it works amazingly with Arabella. If you're not familiar with this card, this is another one of our bombs, and honestly one of my favorite from Duskmourn. Whenever she attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent, and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 2 or less. Now, because it deals X damage, that means that we actually get the Sheltered by Ghost life gain or lifelink trigger on Arabella for that first hit, and then we still gain the second part of that text, where it's gain X life. So if Arabella is doing that attack for 4, you get the 4 for the initial trigger, 4 for the life link, and then any damage that she actually deals by hitting herself, which is probably 2 at that point, because 1 plus Sheltered Ghost. So you heal for 10 damage on a single card after removing a non-land permanent. And she's already going to be a target, so putting the Sheltered by Ghost on her is not really a problem. You want the ward anyways. Absolutely a very easy way to run away with a game here. This plus Release the Dogs means you're guaranteed swinging for 5 damage. But with that, they can't really interact with. They've got to remove this card before it swings. Just such a fun bomb. It's legendary though, so that's why we run 3. Otherwise, we would run 4. If you swap up the deck a little bit, I could see going up to 4 of this. Even then, you want it so badly that you don't actually mind having the second one to come down after they remove the first one. Up to it, just a 3 for 3/3 or for 3 1/1 tokens. Toby Beastie is a great card. This card gives us a 4/4 token, which is pretty big. Easily the biggest creature we get in the deck. And then they also gain flying if we have 4 more creature tokens, and we get 4 more creature tokens with very little issue. Toby plus Hop to It alone is already there. Release the Dogs is a single card that gets you there, even if you've lost the beast. And we have one of our other bombs, Warleader's Call. 1, a red and a white. Creatures you control get +1/+1, which is already pretty good. But then whenever a creature you control enters, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. Pretty solid. You're playing this, you're playing Release the Dogs, you're playing Elspeth and creating tokens. It's not uncommon that this card, when it's down on turn 3, ramps you into 10 damage on its own, just for creating creatures, and they can't block it. So if they've got a 6/6 and you're chump blocking every turn, Warleader's Call goes over. Arabella actually has to attack to get hers in. So that can be pretty meaningful. And then release the dogs. We just run 2 of because this is really high in our curve. So 4 1/1 white dog creature tokens, pretty solid. And then of course we've already talked about Elspeth. Lands, you can run just the plains and mountains and the deck does okay. We only have 2 cards that need the red, and there are definitely lines in the deck that can win without ever even seeing them. That said, if you've got the Vantages, if you've got the Verges, I think you should play them. There is an argument for the Scry and Surveil lands. I don't think it's quite worth it, but having a little bonus in your card draw does certainly help. A couple of other things here in the sideboard that I played with or really seriously looked at. Headliner is probably the 2nd or 3rd best card from the set. Mobilize 1, which means whenever you attack, you create a 1/1 red warrior token that is tapped and attacking. Sacrifice at the end of your end step. And you can 1 in red, sacrifice this creature, deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature, which can make it fairly interesting removal. This would be one of the only ways outside of Get Lost and Sheltered that we can actually remove things that are like 6/6 demons and such like that. In my testing, I never actually found this to be good enough. I generally didn't want to swing with it for the Mobilize. The 1 Mobilize isn't enough on the Warleader's trigger for it to actually stay alive long enough and be meaningful. It's a good card. If you want to build it and play around with it, I think you will find it works well in other setups, possibly Goblins, as it's a Goblin Warrior, but it's not good enough here, I think, to put in. Voice of Victory is a little more interesting. 1 in a white, Mobilize 2. Your opponent can't cast spells during your turn. 1/3. So I think this is actually a pretty solid rate. The Mobilize 2 matters more than the Mobilize 1 did, despite it only costing 1 more, and it's got the 1/3 toughness, so it might actually be able to trade and live. Ultimately, though, I don't think you have to main deck this unless you're playing against decks pretty consistently in the meta that want to be casting casting spells on your turn. There's a few of them. I don't think it's enough to warrant this in the main deck, especially when our 2 slot is already so jam-packed. I can see maybe running it over Essence Channeler or Carrot Cake if you were in that position, or running best of 3. Unyielding Lineage. Flash, first strike, and whenever a non-token creature you control dies, endure 2. Enduring 2 lets you put +1 counters on this, or create a 2/2 white spirit creature token. And so getting the 2/2 token anytime something else dies is a nice consolation prize. I didn't decide I wanted to spend the rare wildcards to really test this out. I've only got the 1 at the moment. And I'm just not convinced, especially with it being a legendary creature, so you can never get multiple triggers of this. Yeah, I like it in theory. I'm looking forward to seeing the decks that it does do fun things in, because it does look pretty strong. I just don't think tokens is actually quite it. There are a couple of other cards here that can certainly be considered. So one of those is Roaming Throne 4, Ward 2. When it enters, choose a creature type. It is that creature in addition to its other types, which means almost nothing to us, except if a triggered ability of another creature you control of the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. And so you can name Toy and get double Arabella. Sanctifier, you can name Rabbit or Cleric and get that. Again, it's not good enough to actually include, I think. Maybe you could find a way to do like soldiers or warriors and do double up on the mobilize triggers with Elspeth at the top and still kind of be a Boros token, but it really shifts you away from what I'm doing here with Hop to It and release the dogs. Not saying that's not good. Certainly consider it, especially if you got more of these than I currently do. Okay, Wizards, that's everything on the deck. Let's go ahead and get into some games. So this is an interesting open. Double Smite, Hop to It, and Arabella. I don't think you're supposed to keep this. I'm going to keep this. Opponent does not end up playing creatures, so this just ends up being a slow start for us. They cycle a spectacular pile-up. Well, is this going to be Bunny? No, because they're playing Hare. bats, maybe? Bats with raise the pass, tokens, and removal. Okay, they destroy one of my bunnies with persistence. I mean, it's fine. We'll get in for 2. Do we think they have a way to remove Elspeth? Okay. We just do the same thing, right? My Elspeth's a little bit cooler because I get the full art. I wonder why they're splashing black in this. So it's Orzhov tokens, running Elspeth at the top end. Virtue of Persistence. What else do you run in this? Okay, they go for the flying, presumably to hit Elspeth. That's fine, but they need to have a board wipe after they finish hitting me. Or a shock or something. Yeah, there it is. Day of Judgment. That makes sense. Okay, so we play this. We play... do we want to leave 1 Smite open, I think? So this is fine. We get 2 beasts. I love it. Everything is flying. All right, we built one hell of a board back up. Bonus turn. Arabella also gets in for 6 if I want it next turn. Caretaker's talent turns down, which means they do not have the next play, which is great for us. They also can't block the flying. So they need something off of this 2 mana, and I don't know what that would be. Okay. Sure, you got 4 ground tokens. You can actually still block with Arabella. Oh, you've got more, actually. Jesus. Yeah, stuff goes wild. I could plus, or I could 0 here. I don't want to lose my Elspeth. I'm okay losing the Arabella because I've got another one. Well, I really don't need the counter. I don't have 20 damage, right? This is +1. So 5, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, I've just got lethal. We just +0 and go all base. Yep, cool. Almost missed that there. Elspeth, baby. Ooh, man, that's crazy. Slum 420? Is that how you're supposed to read that? Plain Sunbillow Verge, really showing case why you want those dual lands. Smite, Carrot Cake, Channeler, Hop to It, and Arabella. It's not the Elspeth victory, but it is a meaningful path. We will see what opponent plays. If this is mono red again, we are in a pretty good spot. If it's not, we'll have to see how the game goes. We've got a pretty good draw line, though. I think my biggest question immediately is, do I go Essence Channeler, Arabella, Hop to It? We've got 2 Arabellas now, so I'm feeling pretty good about doing that turn too. And we can because we'll play the Plains, and then Sunbillow will give us red then. Up the Beanstalk. Okay. Now the game gets hard. We've got to find a couple of things. Because we will not outdraw them. We need to find land for the Hop to It next turn. Are they going to hold up counter magic? No. There's Overlords of the Flood Pits. They get the free draw. They get to draw 2, discard. So they've gotten 3 draws now this turn for 3 mana. I had to discard 1. I think they'll have to end up discarding another. No. Sanctifier is what we get. That is not what we needed. So we'll play Carrot Cake. And release the dogs is great, but not what we need right now. We'll get in for 3 damage and 2 heal. We got to be really careful about how many creatures we play out, because they almost certainly run board wipes in these colors. And they've got the mana for it now. They board wipe this. It doesn't set us that far behind. Leyline Binding, so they're going to steal the Arabella, draw a card. What is this? Probably Domain Zur then. It's a hard deck for us to win against. The Hop to It is... Do we do Arabella plus Sanctifier? Probably not. I think we go Hinterland Sanctifier, Essence Channeler, threaten this combination. Only get in for one this turn. We need to find Sheltered by Ghost for the Zur, I guess. There comes Thicket. They're at 4 mana. I don't remember how much Zur himself costs. Huh. Dance of the Tumbleweeds. That's that part of the... I don't know that I've seen that card much. I mean, I guess they went and got land. They've still got mana open for counter. That is important to realize. I still think we go for a hop to it here. If they counter that, we're fine. It's not a counter. Anyways, Essence Channeler gets pretty big here. We've also now presenting a board that's pretty wipeable for them. Smite will actually kill Overlords of the Flood Pits. Black. Did they have black before? They did not. That's their first black down. White Sun's Twilight. Yep, there's the sweeper. Okay, can we actually recover from this? I think we go Arabella, Carrot Cake. Gonna take a little bit of damage here for sure. We don't need the land. We actually need something else now. I'm pretty sure we could play Elspeth if we got it. Yep, we've got the mana for that. Overlords, but not full mana to bring it actually out into the field. Another Ley Lining, so there goes Arabella number 2. Which means we cannot swing over the top and deal the damage through that. Llanowar Elf comes down. Another Overlords. Was that full priced? No. So they've gotten way too much card value here. They're going to get in for a fair amount of damage. God, they've seen like over half their deck at this point. Not really much we can do to block that. It drops us below our max, gives us 5 poison. We find a Plains. It really just says that there's no way we win this, right? We go up to 9 Toxic next turn. Kill the Overlord that's flying. Arabella doesn't win. Elspeth doesn't win. And if Elspeth doesn't win, can we actually win this in any meaningful way? We'd need at least 2 turns pretty much with Elspeth. And there's Zur, which gives him hexproof. We are done. GG. Babylonian Fire? Babylonia Fire? Oof. Triple Plains, hop to it, release the dogs, Elspeth, Stormslayer, Arabella. So a really high curve. We don't have red for our 1 low curve card. I don't think we keep that. Plains, double Sunbillow Verge, sheltered, hop to it, Elspeth, Warleader's Call. I think it's got to be the hop to it and just hope we find something before turn 3. Or just hope they're not mono red. I say is they're mono red. Okay. So Arabella's not bad. That might hold off the Swift Spear for a turn. We'll see. We can Shelter by Ghost. Shelter by Ghost on Arabella is so good. We don't really want to shelter the Swift Spear though. We really want a better target. We can't block here. Not unless they play the third card already. Which it looks like they're going to. They actually do War Squeak now. Oh, and they just tell me I can't block. That's fine. We actually get Elspeth Smite. So I think what I'm going to do is Arabella, sheltered, steal their Swift Spear away. Get in for 3? Heal 4? Yeah. Get in for 3, heal 4. Hold up Elspeth Smite. They probably don't have the ability to do more. Beat down Beamtown Beat Stick. What is this? Mono red? Okay, we can't smite a 4-card creature. We can Warleader's Call and hold up Elspeth Smite, though. That's fine. Oh, yeah, Arabella is no longer a... That's fine. We want the 3 life. Yeah, power 2 or less. So we lost it. I think that's still fine. I guess we would have gotten more without it. But I don't want to have to wait to play it later. Was this Demonic Ruckus? Why'd you even plot that? Because you want to do the equip this turn? That's great, because now I can just kill that off. Not land, which I was kind of hoping for. Still, we're back up to 19. They're down to 11. Arabella is really strong. Emberheart Challenger scares me a little. They're probably going to Demonic Ruckus. No, they play another Beamtown. Beamtown. They can still Demonic Ruckus. It's free. Okay, Emberheart Challenger. Emberheart Challenger. Do they also draw Mountain with thing in hand? No. Okay. Do I... So my question was going to be, do I Elspeth Storm Slayer -3 if I get the land? But I didn't get the land, so it doesn't matter. And this might kill? No. Leaves them at... No, it's exacties. I can't math. Yeah. Easy. Create 4 tokens, do 4 damage with Warleaders, do 4 more over the top with Arabella, heal 8, and then do 3 because they can't block it. Don't even need you, Elspeth. I do, don't go nowhere.